Oh, wow. This is, sorry, stream. We're gonna need to, cut that out. It's PG, guys.
It just got rated PG-13.
Wow.
Yep. After 9:25 Eastern time.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Division 2 video. In today's video we're going to be going over how we complete the summit from floors 1 through 100. I am going to touch on 100 in this video, but I'm going to put floor 100 and then the final fight in a different video just to save from any possible spoilers. Or if people just want to jump straight to 100, they can just go straight to that video. So I'm going to show you the builds and everything. We'll talk about it, but it will be more in depth in a future video coming later on. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's go start with builds. Builds for the 4-man group. You can see my build on screen right now. It's a pretty straightforward DPS build. I'm using Strained with Obliterate. I do switch out the Obliterate chest piece sometimes for an Unbreakable chest piece. I do also switch out the Boomerang M1A for a Baker's Dozen M1A. When we get animal hoarders, obviously ammo is always a problem. The Baker's Dozen really helps because every missed shot has a 100% chance of going back into your clip. So it really helps out to make sure that you're using all your ammo effectively. The Coyote's Mask to help with DPS with both critical hit chance and critical hit damage. We've talked about that before. And then it's a pretty straightforward 3-piece Providence, Gruppo, and Fenris. Trying to get my crit hit damage up as high as possible. Crit hit chance somewhere in the 40% range. So yeah, that's the first TPS build using the Revive Hive and a drone. Now I start with saying that these are the builds for the first 60 floors or so. Okay, I'm going to show you some gameplay with them as well, but these are the builds for the first 60 floors. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is our second DPS build. Raiders running it again, very similar. He's running the Eagle Bearer with an M1A, Coyote's Mask, 3-piece Providence, Gruppo, and a Fenris. Again, very straightforward, essentially just the same as mine. But you can see he has a crossbow. I had the gunner. In the later floors, we all switched to crossbow in order to take down the heavies quickly. But this is the second DPS build, very straightforward, essentially the same exact thing as before. The next build, as you can see on screen now, is a status effect build utilizing the exotic Vial Mask, also a piece of China Light with a 4-piece Eclipse Protocol, combined with Creeping Death Talent on the backpack. This build is essential to success, especially as we start to climb into floors 50, 60 or so. Essentially what this allows it to do is it gives us a skill build for so those drone levels. He switches to a pulse and he can pulse down the drones, pulse down any Black Tusk mechanical items, but also he's controlling the ads for us. He's controlling the ad spawns. What he is doing at all times is learning where the ads are spawning and firing his Firestarter Chem Launcher into those areas in order to light them on fire so they're not shooting back at us, so we can clear quickly. But then also that utilizing the Creeping Death, it then transfers to the other enemies that are spawning. This makes these floors very easy and go by very quickly. It's a great build to have on hand. The next build we run is a tank build. Again, Coyote's Mask. This is a hybrid tank DPS build. In these lower floors, we don't need as much survivability because the ads aren't as deadly, so to speak. So we have our tank run a DPS tank hybrid, utilizing Vanguard. So it's proccing Vanguard, giving us bonus armor. You can see there's 1.1 million armor. So we're getting some decent survivability off of that, but we don't need a lot. We're running through normal, hard, and challenging here. These enemies aren't that hard. Pair it with the status effect build that we just saw, they're not shooting back very often. So bringing these dads down quickly and efficiently is key. That's why we have this tank build running as a DPS hybrid. So it's a 4-piece True Patriot with a Overlord chest piece with Vanguard running the Pestilence and an M1A Coyote's Mask. We're going to get right into the gameplay here. So those 4 builds are running right now on screen. And these 4 builds are being seen in action on floor 60. This is much higher, so we've been running these builds from 1 all the way to 60, and you can see how effective they are. Obviously, this is from my perspective, but just watch for the explosions, the fire going out, and then just the creeping death at work, getting them all on fire as they come out, which is helping us bring them down effectively. Also, you can see the True Patriot fireworks go off. Everything's working in rhythm with each other and really helping us to clear this floor effectively.
Hit that guy. Thank you.
Armor.
Rusher coming down the middle.
Armor. Oh, missed. Armor.
Oh, he's coming up on me.
Ritter on you.
Ah, bail. Alright, I'm going back up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to push him too.
Going.
Oh, I might not make it. Where's that other guy shooting me from?
That's annoying. There's only one way to get up there.
Hit him with an arrow. Yeah, bleed. Nice.
Done. He's done.
Around floor 74, 75 or so, we decided to make a change, and I went to my healer DPS combo build. This helped us get from floors, so like I said, 75 or so all the way to 90. It effectively allowed us to have the DPS as we move through the upper legendary floor, the 80 to 90 floor, but it helped us give us a little bit more survivability along with the DPS that we're stacking. Once you get into those higher levels, the status effect doesn't last as long on the NPCs, which was making it much more difficult to control the ads as they spawn. So we needed a little bit more survivability, but we didn't want to lack too much on DPS. So I switched to this build. I've talked about this before. You can either use Ravenous or the M1A. I did switch to an M1A here, but it's a FAMAS with Future Perfect, and then 2-piece Future Initiative, 1-piece Providence, 1-piece Fenris, 1-piece Seska, and 1-piece Grupo with Kinetic Momentum and Companion. My firm goal here is just to keep everyone healed and also, do as much damage as I possibly can. So I'm comboing 2 roles, combo build, I know, right? Doing 2 roles, but also trying to be, my main focus is keeping everybody healthy and alive. We're going to cut to some gameplay here of us running with this build. It's very straightforward. Again, keeping everybody alive, but also shooting, firing DPS, and bringing things down quickly and communicating.
Yep.
So as you can see in the gameplay on screen now, we're on floor level 80. I've been running this for about 5 floors, but we're in the legendary area right now. So I dropped the hive right here. I make sure it's right next to me to proc my companion. We're getting pushed here on the left. I get flashed. But I'm in my heal. We're all staying within the heal to keep things down. You can see I can bring down this gold bar, with help from friends pretty easily. We're still running the True Patriot, as you can see right there.
Yep.
Red bars are pushing us. I can bring those down, but we're all staying in the heal. That is that's effectively the most important aspect of running on these legendary floors. Everybody stays in the heal. A lot of times, especially when you get into the 90s, you can't push into the room. So stay in the heal, stay together, and work as a team calling them out. And you'll be just fine. I'm going to let this play out, and then we'll see the builds for 90 and above.
Shotgunner. Golden color. Left side, Grenadier.
Yep.
Shotgun throwing grenades. Johnny 5 in the back.
We got a guy on the right. Guy on the right, jump.
Yep. Drone's up there too.
Pushing back.
Boss is coming out. Up top.
Hive is almost dead. I'm picking it up. Watch your health. Watch your health.
Got snipers up top.
There's armor.
We got a Johnny 5 way. 2 Johnny 5s way in the
Boss is
back.
down.
Boss is not.
No, boss is drop down.
Down on the
He
floor.
dropped down, yeah.
Okay.
Pulsing.
Boss is
Boss is
coming
flanking on the right.
side.
Flanking on the right, everybody.
Oh, how did that not catch on fire?
Yeah.
Alright, ads.
We're done.
The first build for floors 90 and above is a full healer. So you can see Raider running the healer for us. He has the mechanical animal and the Bullet King. Bullet King really helps out on those ammo hoarder directive floors. Also, one-piece Providence Mask, 4-piece Future Initiative, and the BTSU gloves. The Future Initiative, when he is at full armor, gives us more damage, which is fantastic. Also, the BTSU gloves, he's able to reset our hives when he has the ability. He's running the healing hive and the healing chem launcher. One thing to note about this: when we get to the floors with you'll be floors with just drones, right? He is our main guy that switches to the pulse. It essentially gives him a tier 6 pulse, which means he's able to bring down those drones very well. The rest of us do switch to a pulse as well, but he's our main guy because he has a quicker cooldown. He can also bring them down in one tap. So healer, but when we get to those drone levels, he is the guy that's going to switch to a pulse and primarily be your pulse guy in order to bring them down effectively. First DPS build on, as you can see on the screen now, is straightforward, just like the ones we saw before. We switched to Teddy having a DPS build for these, so he's running a 3-piece Providence, 1-piece Walker, and a Overlord knee pads. It's very straightforward, running the M1A. Those are the Fox's Prayer knee pads, by the way. Also with the Coyote mask. Very straightforward. It's just like the ones we saw before, trying to get the crit chance and crit damage up as high as possible. So this is our tank build that we use for the floors 90 through 100. This is an armor regen, foundry bulwark build with the full shield, revive hive, vanguard chest piece on the Gila, and then a DNH holster. DNH holster is just for the pistol damage. Whatnot. Pestilence helps out, just to give us a little bit of added damage with the tick from the pestilence, and the M1A Baker's Dozen for the gun. Your focus here really isn't to be doing a lot of damage. It's about to be essentially doing what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be tanking, right? Doing what is described. You're trying to take the aggro off of our DPS guys and the healer so they can do what they do, but you're also the main guy to get people up if they go down. If they go down without a hive, it's your job to fall back, have your shield up ready, and get them back up. So you are doing exactly what your name describes. You are tanking enemies in order to allow the others to do what they do best, dish out that damage, get people healed, whatever that may be. So like I said, armor regen, 4-piece foundry bulwark, Gila with Vanguard, and the DNH holster. The last build is our last TPS build, and it's the same one I showed you before, so we won't go over it again, but recap: 3-piece Providence, Grupo, Fenris with the Strained, Obliterate. I do, like I said, switch to Unbreakable here in the upper levels a lot. I do switch to a Baker's Dozen instead of Boomerang when we have ammo hoarders. Coyote's Mask for the extra damage. Very straightforward. Revive Hive, Healing Drone. Straightforward. So as you can see in the gameplay, we're on floor level 94. We do encounter rogues on this floor, so it makes it I don't know, maybe a little bit easier. but you can see the main principle still is the same. We want to create a choke point within the floor. You can see right here, we don't have anywhere to back up. We've just cleared that checkpoint, or that, you know, so we can't, we just went up the elevator. We can't go back any further. So we have to make a conscious decision on where we're going to bring them and where we're going to fight from. So you can see, jump goes in the room to aggro. He then falls back. You can see the first rogue coming up on us. Skills are going out. I get kind of blown up here in a second. Yeah, I get lit on fire. Great. Right, the whole team is starting to fall back right now. I'm trying to get my wits about me before I make the move. I make the move. You can see the heal hive is down. Everybody's in the heal. Everyone is in cover and trying to do their best. Now, wait till I get cover here. But you can see the door. We're using that doorway as our choke point. We want them to come through the choke point so we can do damage to them essentially one by one until we clear the floor. But this is the same method for all of the rooms, okay? All, you know, from 90 all the way to 100, you do the same thing. Create a choke point and use the choke point to focus fire individual adds or individual enemies, and use it to your advantage, right? You can see Jump's doing his work as a tank. I'm trying to stay behind him. But this is a bad situation we're in right now. We can't fall back any further. And we have an ad that's behind us, and we're getting pushed by more. Even whether it's a rogue encounter or if it's a normal floor with white tusk, having one ad get behind you can mean death for the entire group. So if you start to get pushed, fall back. Do not let that ad get behind you, and make the call. Make sure you let your team know that there is an ad pushing, and they're going to get behind you. Everyone should be focused on that ad at that point, as well as falling back. Again, an ad getting behind you can mean death for their entire team and a wipe, which then could potentially put you back 3 floors and make another hour into your group. But work as a team here. Focus fire. You can see Jump's getting a little happy with the flamethrower. I like it. It's fun. But work as a team. Focus fire. Stay in the heal. Make sure your healer's got the heal hive down as much as it's up. You can see he's dropping chems. Make sure that you're in the heal. You can see I'm just on the outskirts of it here. You had to leave it behind in the room because we were getting pushed. But make sure you're in the heal. We're using that chem. He's got the bullet king out. You can see it firing over there in the corner. And focus fire. And that is essentially the key to success from 90 to 100. Now when you get to room 100, it's the same thing. You create a choke point. There's only one way to create that choke point, but you do use a few different skills, such as the shock traps and the riot foam, and we'll kind of go over that quickly in a future video. But I wanted to keep that video separate in case others just wanted to focus on floor 100. So this is the end of the video. I'm going to let this play out, but if you do like what you see, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more content from myself. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll help out in any way I can. And thank you very much for all of your support. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Jesus, bro.
Healing.
Dude.
Okay, fire starter. Okay, fire starter.
At least I got my skills.
Hive. Shooting the hive.
I got it.
Yeah. Oh, is that a second hive?
Another one. Yeah.
Got it.
God.
Oh, I missed.
Armor. Nice shot. EMP. Fire starter coming in. Not bad.
Come on. It's ridiculous.
jumping from you.
It's fun.